What is this thing for? Are you sure it's for watercolor? Wait, what? A bushwasher? No. We'll get into that and a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Do you want to help me intro this? I've got goodies for you. Lots of fun things for all you watercolor lovers and just art lovers in general. Today I want to share with you some of the things that I've discovered recently that have to do with watercolor, and they're just plain good old fun. Sometimes you need that in your life, don't you? In my case, usually that's in the form of an adult beverage, but if I don't have an adult beverage, I turn to watercolor. But I always have an adult beverage, so yeah. Priorities. Be sure to check out the chapters I made. You can hover over the timeline and skip around to whatever you want to watch. Let's just jump right into all the good stuff that I'm going to share on here. And I'm going to start with shaved graphite to add texture to your paintings. How fun is this? I learned about this through Angela Fair. She has a wonderful channel here on YouTube, so I will link her here. And she uses shaved graphite in the middle of her flowers to add a little bit of extra pizzazz. So let's see how this works. All right, I'm so excited about this TV show that I want to tell you about. And so HBO has a new show called Painting with John.
We're all artists. We all have that thing.
And there's not a lot of TV shows out there for us watercolor artists. I mean, the oil painters have Bob Ross. Who do we have? And you can go to the website and you can watch an episode for free. I am totally going to do that today when my brain dies at 2 o'clock, like it always does. I can't get anything done at 2. I will link that in the description below, along with tons of other goodies, links to all my favorite art supplies. There's so much in every single description on all my videos. Kitty, don't think about leaving. Listen, I'm going to sit here so you can't jump down. I'm going to paint Sadie for Halloween, by the way, so stay tuned for that. What? I am. I love you. You're beautiful. Oh, that was so nice. Ooh, this is a good one. My student Candy Kelly told me about this. Thank you, Candy. And it's a bushwasher. I mean, no, not a bushwasher. Oh my God. I mean, I'm good. A brush washer. So this is a brush washer, and what it is this little puck with nubbles on it on one side, and on the other side there's a suction cup, so you can put it in the Ow! Really? What? I'm petting you. What am I doing wrong? So you put it in the bottom of your water jar, and then you can swish your brush bristles in the nubbles, and it'll help clean your brush more effectively. Okay, this next idea is kind of a hack. I found this idea in the comments on some masking brand, and this lady left these comments. I'll put her name up here. She bought this Viva Decor 8-ounce glass effect gel pen. She emptied it out and she put masking in it, and she uses that to apply masking. Also, it looks like they are discontinuing this Glass Effects gel pen, but I did search for Viva Decor 0.08 ounce and found a few other products that use this same application pen. So if you want to try this hack, just search Amazon for Viva Decor 0.08 ounce and you should find this applicator. All right, recently on my Patreon, I had a guest artist come do a tutorial, and she did such a good job. She painted this black cat. Her name is Jo White. I met her on my Facebook group. By the way, if you're on Facebook, come join my watercolor workshop group. We have so much fun there. And she paints these beautiful cats. And so I invited her to do a tutorial, and part of her tutorial was painting on top of a light board. So let me show you a few clips of her painting on the light board.
Now, I work directly on a light tablet, and I do this for a couple of reasons. One is I actually don't want to draw on my finished paper, on my final watercolor paper. And two, I can turn the light off so that I'm not becoming obsessed about the details that I've actually got drawn onto my paper.
And so what that does is you don't have to put a tracing on your paper. You can just paint over your tracing that you can see through the light board. Genius. Love this idea. Thank you so much, Jo White, for sharing all your great tricks and skills in that tutorial. My students loved it. All right, this next idea is another hack that I found on my watercolor boards, and it's Using shavings from colored pencils. Nellie Krams mentioned this in a comment on one of the watercolor groups I'm a part of on Facebook. And there's like a whole watercolor world on Facebook. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't joined Facebook, join just for the watercolor. You will learn so much from watercolor groups. I had done a tutorial using Brusho, which is like powdered pigment that you sprinkle on your paper and then you can spray it or add water. Excuse me, my cat's biting me and not cool. But Brusho is a little expensive, so Nellie Krams suggested using shavings from colored pencils, and that will give you a very similar effect. All right, one more thing that I wanted to try just for this video so that I could put it in this video if I liked it was liquid graphite. So I got some liquid graphite and I played around with it. Let's see what I came up with. All right, so I played around with the liquid graphite after I recorded that, and I liked it, but I have to be honest with you, I like just good old-fashioned watercolor black paint much better. My lamp black, it stays darker, it has more texture in it, it's more granulating, but I did test this out in a couple different situations. As you can see here, I'm painting Sadie. So it made really nice wet and wet fur effects, but the thing is, it has a pretty significant drying shift, and what that means is that as it dries, it lightens a lot, and so I would just rather use my Daniel Smith lamp black, and I've talked about that in a lot of videos. I think the last one I talked about it was in Hacks 3. I lose count now. I like Daniel Smith lamp black better, and then I tried it. You can see here, I'm painting the moon, and I really think it looked good, but I feel like I get a lot more dramatic textural effects just using the synthetic black mix that I used. If you didn't watch my Halloween video, I talked at length about my new synthetic black mix that I learned from handprint.com, where it's got so much information in it, so be sure to check it out. And he came up with this beautiful mix for black that makes a luminous black, and usually blacks get kind of chalky, heavy. They have a big drying shift usually. And so I love my Daniel Smith lamp black, but it's very granulating and it's kind of heavy. And when I want a more luminous watercolor, almost like a glowing black with a lot of different colors and character in it, I will be turning to this new mix of 3 colors for a very beautiful luminous black that consists of Daniel Smith Permanent Brown, Daniel Smith Indenthrone Blue, and M. Graham Phthalo Green. And you can use any phthalo green. The Permanent Brown is a pigment that is not in many paint colors, so I think it's Daniel Smith and one other. And then the Indenthrone Blue, I think a lot of different Indenthrone Blues have the same pigment, so you don't necessarily have to use Daniel Smith. All right, you may notice a set change, and that's because I have this new table. It's a sit-to-stand desk, so it's my newest studio upgrade, and I don't know why I waited so long, but I just feel like most sit-to-stand desks are kind of ugly and utilitarian looking, but this one has drawers. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought this, so let me show it to you. And by the way, if you're interested in buying one similar to this, I'll link this, like everything else I talk about in this video, in the description. All right, thank you all so much for joining me on this exploration of all things fun watercolor. I hope you really enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe because I'll be having a lot more videos like this, just fun watercolor stuff that you can just enjoy, and it might wet your whistle. I don't know, that's not really, that sounds like I'm very old. Wet your whistle. Anyway, what is that? What is this thing for? Ah! What is this for? Take care and go watercolor your world. Bye, everybody.